Hello, how you doing? Welcome to a brand new video and a new part of our series in F1 Manager 2022. After 4 fabulous seasons in charge of Aston Martin, leading 3 double driver and constructors world championship titles, we have moved on within the same universe. You can see how to do that in a video that I posted very recently, how to change teams in F1 Manager 22. It does mean that we lose our sort of history, if you like, at Aston Martin, but I am going to be transferring it all to a spreadsheet over the coming weeks and months, and that will be for everybody to enjoy as well. I will share that spreadsheet. I am working on it at the moment. It is going to come into effect really from season 5 onwards, but it has been an amazing journey at Aston Martin. Our new journey starts today at McLaren. We've got $37 million in the budget. The plan is to try and get Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri as the team for next season. We know Oscar Piastri is out of contract at Aston Martin as the reserve driver. And you know, it's going to be a transitional season. We've not done anything else. I've literally just taken over the team, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to be at going into the new season. I'll just move my ugly mug up a little bit. I have experimented with the save a little bit, and this calendar on the right-hand side will appear coming into the next season. So it should all be absolutely fine. Obviously, I've got a few backups of the save in case things start going wrong, but I'm excited. I am really excited. It's like starting a brand new game, a brand new save, and we'll see if we can get McLaren up to the heights of Aston Martin. If you didn't catch the season finale, it was an absolutely awesome affair. Lewis Hamilton got his 8th World Championship finally, and we were all really happy for him, and just thank you for all of the support on part 1 of this series, if you like, those first 4 seasons. So first things first, Valtteri Bottas, he will not be continuing with us next season. He's 36 years old now. I want to try and breathe new life into this McLaren team. I don't want to turn it into a retirement home, if you like. I want to go in a different direction to what we did at Aston Martin. Lando Norris is, of course, going to be at the front of that. He's still only 26. Believe it or not, he's only on 9.9 million, so we'll try and get him virtually straight away here. And Logan Sargent is in there as reserve driver. I'm more than happy to keep that going into next season. He has got 1 year remaining on that contract. As far as staff members are concerned, all of these contracts do expire. I'm pretty happy to keep going with the race engineers. Obviously, he's still paired with Lando Norris, and you know, Martin Werner. He was a guy that we had at Aston Martin. To be honest, I'm quite happy to keep all of these guys. So we will be entering contract negotiations in due course. Let's have a little look at our facilities. I've not looked at any of this yet. So if you look at the car development facilities, you can see they've pretty much maxed everything out. There is a few things that are dropping down in condition, but certainly we can refurbish those in the new year. Staff facility wise, that's pretty much maxed out, and the operations facility already maxed out. So it's quite unbelievable actually how much McLaren have invested in their facilities. As to go for the cars, looking at next season on the research, you can see they have only completed 2 rounds of research on the chassis, 2 rounds of research on the front wing, and 1 bound of research on the suspension. Nothing on the underfloor, which is of course the big part of the car really, and nothing on the side pods, and nothing on the rear wing. So it could be quite a tricky season going into next year, working out where on earth this car is going to be at. But I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I guess that's everything that we need to do. We will head into some contract negotiations now and immerse ourselves into the action. Right, so first things first, let's get our drivers sorted out. Lando Norris is going to be the first guy we try and bring in. So we are going to renew his contract. We're going to try and bring him in to car 1. Of course, we are going to have to break Valtteri Bottas's contract in order to do that. I'm quite happy to see where that proposal goes for Lando Norris. So let's pop that in there and see if he will accept that. That's something pretty good. Contract declined, so would like his salary to be a bit bigger. But other than that, I think, you know, we're pretty much there with that. So let's pop that up to 13 million. And then onto the lump sum bonus, let's pop that onto 1 million. 1 million US dollars. That looks good. Right, let's offer that contract then. Perfect. Well, that one's gone up. It is just his salary that we need to work out now. Now, do we go straight to 15 million? Because we don't want to annoy Lando Norris here. Let's go for that. That looks pretty good. Right, offer the contract. Yes, this should be enough. How's it declined? How on earth has he declined that? Right. Let's move that down to 8th. Let's go for 1 million. And hope for the best on this. I really wish you could up these a little bit quicker than you can. Right, offer contract. Hey, contract accepted. Finally, right. So we can renew this contract now. Lando Norris will be here. And that's absolutely fine. So confirm that. New driver contract renewed. Perfect. So Lando Norris will be taking over car 1 of our team. We're going to move Jason Pryor to join with Mr. Lando Norris if we can. Is that... How do you do it again? Is it on drivers? Is it on engineers? Setup? Ah, there you go. Right. Whoops. Oh, this is so frustrating. Right, into Lando Norris, setup, swap engineers. There you go. So he's got great affinity with Jason Pryor, who's been there the whole time. The second driver role, we will be going for Oscar Piastri. Now, I was tempted by Daniel Ricciardo, but it kind of doesn't go with the whole idea of going for somebody that is young. Oscar Piastri's 24. Of course, it's got the lovely symmetry of real life as well. So let's propose a contract here. He will be going for car 2. Let's try and get him in on a 1 million deal. Initial signing on bonus of 250,000. Should we go for? Offer contract. Let's have a little look. He's happy with all of that. So, yes, Oscar Piastri will be joining us. So $858 on the buyout fee. So we've got our 2 main men. Drivers are going to be here for next season. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Really excited for that. And if you're excited too, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We will be doing F1 Manager career videos on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 7 PM UK time, and we do rattle through the seasons quite nicely. So if you're looking forward to an in-depth series, you know, full commentary on the race from myself as well, you know, it's going to be a good time, isn't it? So I'm really looking forward to it. Let's get Simona Resta in there. We can renew his contract. 1 season is probably good enough for me. Let's pop that up to 4 million. Yeah, he wants more than a season. Okay. Hey, contract accepted. So 2 years on the Simona Resta deal. We've got him renewed for next season, which is very good. Head of aerodynamics, potentially somewhere where we can improve. Let's have a little look at who might be available. Obviously, Dirk de Beer is at Aston Martin. You know, there's not many better than Martin Werner. I think he can be a grower. Yeah, let's get him in for another season if we can. He can have another development point as well. He's now a 77 rated engineer. Very good. Right, renew that contract then. Let's see if we can get him in for 1 season. Let's see if that's going to be possible. All right, let's jump that up to 3 million. Hey, nice. So we've got him in for another year. Means we've got time to scout some replacements for next season. Right, Guyton Jego. Let's have a little look at some race engineers. Who are the best in there? So Jason Pryor is obviously better than Jego, but yeah, there's not much out there. You've obviously got Ben Mitchell. You've got Pete Bonington at Aston Martin. We're not going to be able to get him. I do like Ben Mitchell. I'm fairly tempted to bring him over. You know, but oh, Chris Cronin. I like Chris Cronin as well. He's at Mercedes. He is interested though. Ben Mitchell is as well. Go on then. Shall we try and get Chris Cronin in? I do like him. Let's try and get him in for $1 million. For car 1, I don't. Hang on a second. Have we not? Okay, so I think he'd be in to replace Jego, wouldn't he? I hope that wouldn't get rid of. Yeah, we want to get him in for him. Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's give him $1 million and see if he fancies the job. Let's go for it. Right, he's not happy with his salary, but he's happy with everything else. We'll go 2 seasons on that. 2.5. I can't remember how much these blooming engineers cost. Hey, that looks good enough. Right, okay. And it looks like his contract was expiring anyway. Perfect. Right, so he comes in. And he will be Oscar Piastri's engineer, which is rather nice. We've got Jason Pryor. Let's get him renewed as well. Right, probably about 1.5 million is going to be the... it's going to be the sweet spot. Oh, he doesn't want 2 seasons. Oh, he's considering retiring. Okay, let's go 1 season then. Nice. Right, so renew contract and confirm that. So we've got all of our staff in place for next season, which is perfect. Awesome. Right, let's give him his extra point. He's now an 83 rated engineer. And that didn't take too much out of our money. So Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri for next season will continue on. That should take us to the end of the season. And there you go. You can see the calendar has now all come in. Information. So Lando Norris contract renewed. Welcoming Oscar Piastri. We've renewed those contracts as well. And Chris Cronin has come in. I am intrigued to see what drivers are going to be available on the market. So Sergio Perez is a free agent. Charles Leclerc is a free agent as well. George Russell, Valtteri Bottas, of course, Pierre Gasly, is a free agent. Albon, Giovinazzi and Stroll are as well. Fernando Alonso, by the way, for those of you wondering, he did retire at the end of last season. There was no message or anything like that. I did just click on him and see in his plans were to retire. Nico Hulkenberg's still going, which is lovely to see. But, of course, these standard of drivers being on the market, particularly Leclerc and Russell, you could build a wonderful team with them. But we're going slightly younger than that. Key staff, let's have a look at technical chief. So Matt Harmon was available, but he's no better than Simona Resta, so very happy with that. Jared Murphy was available as head of aerodynamics, but Martin Werner has got a little bit about him. I'm happy to keep going with that one. Race engineers, Riccardo Mosconi was available, as was Javier Marcos Padros, and Hugh Bird, interestingly enough. Hugh Bird was available for 80, rated 84. That would have been maybe a nice one to bring in instead of Chris Cronin, but I'm happy with Chris. Right then, it's time for the new season, everybody. Let's go into the pre-season prep and see exactly what's going to happen. It's time to renew or review this year's regulations, manage season engines, and negotiate new obligations with your sponsors. So, sponsor obligations. We do like doing all of them, really. So I'll go ahead and sort these out and see you in a second. Right, I think we've sorted out sponsorships. We're going to be doing some factory event and race day factory events stuff, as well as doing merchandise and race simulator event, hospitality and memorabilia room events. We're going to cut back on the driver appearances, just because we want to keep them focused on the job in hand this year. We are going to be getting £88 million from finishing 6th. We're going to be getting 12 million off the sponsors, meaning that we should be getting 100 million in total. The preseason lump sum is going to be 10 million, and the income per race is going to be 4 million. So the starting balance should be 37,300,000. So let's confirm that. And now we have to think about objectives. So, oh dear. We've got one season remaining on this target. Ouch. So there you go. We need to win the Constructors' Championship, apparently. I don't know if that will affect us massively, but we'll see. 2025 balance, that's fine. Cost cap size is 136 million. So our balance, I think, is going to be 16 million. There's the technical regs. They're all being reduced. Financial, it's dropping by 5 million. I think I thought we were getting a pole position bonus point for this season. Apparently not. We are having double points in fastest lap, though. And onto the powertrain manufacturers. So, McLaren are currently with Mercedes, and they cost $20 million. I mean, it seems to be they've been with Renault for the last couple of years. We certainly don't want to do that, I don't think. We could well go for Ferrari engines, but McLaren Ferrari just doesn't sound right to me. As neither does McLaren Red Bull powertrains. What about McLaren Mercedes? Let's reignite that journey. 20 million it's going to cost us for not necessarily the best performing engine, but yeah, let's go into that then. Okay, perfect. So there we are. We're in our new season then, and I do just want to check that about the board confidence. Yeah, apparently they do. Okay, they're pretty high in confidence, though, so we should be all right. We should be all right. Okay, into this then, the 2026 internal car report. I have no idea what we're... I mean, some of the bits seem to be good, some of the bits not so good, potentially. Maybe if we go into our car analysis screen, can we see that at all? We will do some upgrades before the start of the season. This is what you can come to expect, by the way, in terms of in-depth videos. It looks like we're going to be pretty poor on the whole, but we have got some money to spend. I am looking forward to seeing Aston Martin. There you go. Hey, we put lots of research into that car. They are going to be the team to beat, it looks like, this season, which I'm excited about. That's exactly how I wanted it to be. So there's the internal car report. The car part development is open, of course. We will do that probably off camera. ATR allocations announced. So we have got 48 man hours in the CFD simulator and 640 hours in the wind tunnel. So that's a decent amount of time, isn't it? New regulations are in effect. I do want to know if the... No, they didn't bring in the pole position bonus point. I thought they were doing that. Let's have a look at the team roster update then. So, it looks like Schmollier is going to be the new reserve driver at Aston Martin. Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz continuing there. Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon continuing at Red Bull. George Russell... and Valtteri Bottas, wow, a return for Bottas to Mercedes. That's a bit of a redemption story. Vettel and Magnussen are going to continue for a third consecutive season at Alpine. Nick de Vries and Richard Verschoor are going to be in the reserve roles for those teams. At Ferrari, you've got Charles Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo still leading the Alfa Romeos. Sergio Perez is continuing at Ferrari as well, going into his third season with the team. Alex Albon has joined Daniel Ricciardo at Alfa Romeo. I believe it was Antonio Giovinazzi last season. Vesti and Behrman are your reserves at those teams. At McLaren, of course, you have got Lando Norris, and Pierre Gasly has gone to Haas. He's going to be leading the charge at Haas. Now, he had an awful season at Mercedes last season, so I'm not surprised to see him drop down. Piastri is going to be at McLaren. Zhou Guanyu is going to continue at Haas. Had a wonderful season last year and looking like one of the best drivers on the grid. I think Haas could be one to watch this year. Jack Doohan and Logan Sargent, the reserves at those teams. AlphaTauri then, Lance Stroll is still there. Yuki Tsunoda still at Williams. Teo Porcher has joined AlphaTauri as second driver. Antonio Giovinazzi has gone over to Williams. So plenty of drivers without a seat. Teo Porcher is the newcomer this year, along with Oscar Piastri, both making their Formula One debuts on the grid. But it's pretty much as you were for last season. Looking at free agents then, the biggest free agent is Mick Schumacher on 82. Shame for him. And then Nico Hülkenberg, of course, but I would expect that he's probably going to be retiring going into next season. But shame to see Mick Schumacher out of the sport, but fair to say he didn't perform. Nicholas Latifi is out as well of a drive. Nobody else particularly to think about in terms of that. Obviously, Fernando Alonso is gone now. I don't know if you can have a look at anything to do with retired drivers. I don't know if that's a thing. Lewis Hamilton now the oldest driver, so no, it doesn't look like you can. Doesn't look like you can find retired drivers, which is a bit of a shame. But there you go. That is that. So let's have a little look at where the car can improve then. Pretty much our cornering, that's where we're going to have to look at. If you look at our car in medium and high speed corners, it's 19th best. So we're going to have to make sure that we're improving on that. And the first step of that, I think, is going to be an underfloor project. I think that's where we're going to find a lot of benefits. So let's stick a third of our man hours into it, and let's stick 30 wind tunnel hours into it as well. That's, as I say, it's going to be a massive upgrade, and if we can throw a lot of our engineers behind it, that would be fantastic. We're going to keep it unbalanced. Although I suppose high-speed performance would maybe be a little bit more favourable. Looking at the car, will improve. Let's go low-speed performance now. I think we're alright with low-speed performance. I think we want to go more towards the high-speed. Yeah. So let's go into that then and shove 6 engineers on it. That will give us 9 more engineers to have a look at. It's going to take 61 days, but if we rush that through... then we might be able to get another one in before the season. So let's get that going. We might as well stay for this part of the story. Where else can we improve then? I suppose front wing. We'd like a new front wing as well to go along with that. Let's stick another 30 wind tunnel hours into that. And shall we go for optimized aerodynamics? Will that work out nicely? Won't give us the performance we're looking for. Let's just go balanced with this one, I think. That's fine. We'll stick a load of engineers on this one, and we can do an intense on that one. Okay. And then a smaller project. What do we fancy? Maybe rear wing. Yeah, rear wing to help our top speed a little bit. Let's chuck the rest of our people behind that. That's fine. Keep it unbalanced. 3 guys working on it. That's going to take 42 days. We'll make it intense as well. So it is going to cost us a bit of money to get that going, but I think it is very, very important. So I'll now continue on, and I'll see you guys if anything interesting pops up. There we go then. First design complete. The front wing is in the bag. That's what we like to see. We have got some unused scouts. We should really be doing that, shouldn't we? We want a new head of aerodynamics. So why don't we go and scout? Oh, Jared Murphy's moved to Ferrari. That's an interesting one. Yeah, let's... So people that are interested. Dickon Balmouth looks like a decent prospect, so let's have a look at him. Technical chief wise, I think we've already got one of the best, so I'm looking to develop him really. Race engineers, I think we said we'd quite like to have a look at Hugh Bird. Do we have any other scouts? I don't actually know if we have any other scouts. Let's see. No, we don't. And I don't think we need more than 2 really. I think that's something I've learned. Helipad poor condition. This is the sort of thing that we need. Oh well, that's only 150,000, so let's get that upgraded. I'm thinking the weather centre as well. I know that's 3.2 million, but that's a massively important part of the team. You know, other than that, factory refurbishment's going to be quite costly. Wind tunnel, 12.3 million. What about the suspension simulator? This is the thing, expensive facilities, a lot of upkeep. A lot of upkeep. Right, front wing is completed, so let's get that manufactured. That should be on the car in plenty of time for the new season. And let's have a little look and see, once we put that on. Yeah, that has improved the car fairly significantly. Right, we probably want to get another front wing going then, don't we? you know, it'll be marginal improvements, but it should be ready in time for the first Grand Prix if we play our cards right. So it'll be as I say, it will be a marginal improvement. I think for that reason, just do a normal, but that will be ready for the car by Bahrain, which is perfect. Okay, right. I'll keep going then, and I'll probably see you guys now at Bahrain. I'll do little bits of upgrading, this, that, and the other myself. Well, here's the moment of truth of post-Barcelona testing results. Let's see where this car is. Medium speed cornering is, you know, a part of the car that we're struggling with. Now, of course, we haven't actually put our new parts on the car, so that was all old data. It's kind of where we expect it to be. Why don't we go and pop everything onto the car? So we've got our new front wings that we can stick onto the car. We've got, I think we should have our new rear wings as well, and our underfloors. So we have 2 of those currently. Right, now then, let's have a little look at the car analysis screen at this point. So now we're better than the average team on the grid. If you look at that, we've turned ourselves into a point scoring team, which is awesome, and that's just with our first upgrade. So that shows what can be achieved if you've got the right engineers behind, if you're willing to put the time in and develop the underfloor and whatever. You know, I don't want to turn this car into a winning car in season 1. I definitely don't want to do that. I mean, you look at the money. I'm now considering, right, let's hold off on upgrades until, you know, maybe a little bit further into the season. We'll see where this car takes us, but I'm much more happy with that. So let's push ourselves forward towards Bahrain and see where this car actually is. Okay, then we are ready and raring to go for the Bahrain Grand Prix at the Bahrain International Circuit. Of course, a 2-stop strategy we're looking at today. We have had our performance targets through. The sponsors want us to reach Q2, finish with the fastest lap, which isn't going to happen, and have both drivers qualifying at least 14th for the next 4 races. We've promised them we'll get both drivers into the top 10. We're going to reach Q3 with both drivers as well. We're going to finish in the points, a double points finish in our debut race, and we're promising that at least one of our drivers will finish in the points in the first 5 races of the season. I'm really nervous. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but what I do know is it's going to be an absolute cracker. So without further ado, let's get ourselves into the Grand Prix and see what this 2026 Formula 1 season has in store for us. Enjoy.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula 1. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Here we go then. Let's get ourselves ready. It's going to be a clear weekend. Shall we do practice? I never do practice anymore, but I'm intrigued to hear everybody's voice acting. Let's do some practice, shall we? It's a long time since I've done this. But I think we're going to have to pay attention to car setups and things like that a little bit more closely. You know, I've been used to being a guy competing for wins the last few seasons, so I'm really intrigued, actually, to see how it goes.
Radio check. Okay, it's green now.
So let's get Lando Norris out there. Let's see how this all goes for the Englishman. Our World Championship hopeful. That's who we're trying to get a World Championship title to. Get him a first win in Formula 1. He's so many seasons into it now and hasn't managed to get that. But Piastri's going to come out as well. I'm going to watch both of them. But we'll watch Lando do his first lap in anger in the car. And we'll see any general thoughts about the car. Intrigued to see if any of the reserve drivers are in. It's not really something that's happened too much in my career mode so far, but you can see Hauger is there for Red Bull. Vesti is there for Ferrari as well, so nice to see that. But let's enjoy Lando Norris on board a McLaren for the first time in this career mode. We've got Piastri there in P2, and at this point of the video I do want to say a big thank you to my thumbnail maker Sam, who has put together an absolutely cracking thumbnail for this new part of the journey. I really do appreciate you, Sam, and do go and check out his work on Twitter. I'm regularly crediting him for things because the channel is looking a hell of a lot better now thanks to you, rather than me fumbling my way through Photoshop skills. But I really do appreciate it, Sam, so thanks to him. I don't really know what Norris is doing here. He's certainly not pushing very hard. You know, he seems to be lifting and coasting pretty much. Oh, he's battling. Hey, he's battling with Giovinazzi on the track. That's what's happening. And he's on hard tyres as opposed to Giovinazzi's soft. So you'd expect that Giovinazzi would be slightly quicker than Lando over this lap. And yeah, he has had to back out of that, but we'll get a nice little tow over the line here. So Lando Norris coming up for his first lap time on these hard tyres, and what's he going to manage? It is second place with a 135.7. Oscar Piastri purple in that middle sector, going quicker than his teammate Lando Norris currently. Yeah, went 2/10 quicker. Was a 10th slower in the first sector. He comes up to the line. It's a 135.5, which is 2/10 quicker. So Oscar Piastri doing a good job on his first practice time. So let's push that forward then. We're expecting, you know, these setups to be pretty horrible. We always start on the sort of middle ground when we do practice. Daniel Ricciardo currently quickest, and you know that Alfa Romeo was pretty rapid towards the end of last season, so I'm really curious to see where this all fizzles out and where the pecking order really is this year. I think it's going to be a really interesting season. It's obviously going to be a transitional year for us, but hopefully we can get back on the podium for McLaren, you know, maybe even get their first victory towards the end of the year. But I'm not expecting big things, to say the least. So they're on 3 out of 5 on the feedback. We need to obviously get that up to 5 out of 5. And then we'll fiddle around with the setups.
Oh, we've had a spin.
Yeah, Mercedes, wow, Bottas is a lot. Oh.
How's the balance? How's balance?
The car doesn't feel right.
Understood.
Okay. So Norris's car doesn't feel good.
What's your thoughts on coming in or doing any more?
Right. So he's in there. Right, let's have a little look at this. So yeah, we need a little bit more front wing. We're actually doing alright cornering wise. Probably need to be a little bit faster in the straights. I think that's maybe what it's looking for. Well, less brake and stability, or it's more likely to be the other way, I think. In terms of that, you're going to want a decent amount of traction. Let's go for something like that and see what we can do with those. We can send them out there on a set of soft tyres as well. See how we all get on. And let's have a look at Lando Norris. So probably slightly more front wing. Cornering is always going to be pretty good, I would imagine. Let's go for that, and then slightly less brake and stability. Yeah, and then more. Let's go the opposite direction in terms of straights. Yeah, it's just it'll be quite tricky to get that set up where we need it. I might actually revert it because that's not working for whatever reason. Maybe it does need to be that way then. Yeah, let's go for that. Maybe a little bit more that way. Yeah. Oops. Tyres soft. Confirm. And this is the problem with practice. You know, times aren't representative, but interesting that Max Verstappen is currently being outpaced. Obviously, Hauger seems to be on the medium tyres, so that would explain a bit. But Verstappen won't want to end up behind Hauger come the end of the session. Let's see where Norris pops up to here on the soft tyres. He's obviously not pushing very hard, but he comes through and up to 6th place. That's a very good time from him. Piastri comes through. He goes 7th. So I think there's a little bit in this car. Lewis Hamilton goes quickest. Pourchaire is up there as well. Norris is now up to 5th position. That's interesting. I wonder if he's been dragged along. Piastri up to 4th. Where's that come from? I think we might have unlocked a little bit of potential in this car with this setup. Don't think they're going to be going much quicker now because those soft tyres are definitely going to be a little bit worn, a little bit in the wars. But lovely to see Piastri so high. You know, it's looking like a pretty close run thing. Sainz running wide there. Of course, we're not in charge of Sainz anymore. There you go, setup confidence, great.
It's all good. It's a cool car to drive.
Message understood.
Oh, he's happy. So let's get him in. Might as well, there's no point wasting extra time on that. He's pretty happy with his setup as well. So let's see if it's going to be obvious where the flaws of the car are for Lando Norris. Not really. I think we can be pretty happy with that. That's fine. Let's bring in Oscar then. Let's reconfigure that. Anything? Yeah, it's his traction that's not great. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty optimal, isn't it? Yeah, let's see if we can. We just say run plan 3 laps or something, then that will get him, or at least allow us to confirm it. We'll see what that setup does for us, but it should be all right. We should be smashed for the rest of the weekend now. Can send him out there for a couple of laps at the end here on low fuel. Pick up a little bit of data at least. Let's see what he can do. There you go, we put in 1 lap time, and what was it? 1:34.8.
Okay, Lando, that is the end of the session.
So there we go then, checkered flag. And we can be happy with that. And it's Kevin Magnussen in the Alpine that's quickest. Sebastian Vettel up there as well. So Alpine looking very, very strong. Lewis Hamilton there in second. The world champion going for 9 this time around. Théo Pourchaire up there as well for AlphaTauri. Daniel Ricciardo in the top 10. Pierre Gasly, Russell, Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc rounding out that top 10. Right. Let's get ourselves simulated then. Forward we go. We'll simulate session 2. See where the pace is in the car. Max Verstappen quickest, Lando Norris 5th, Oscar Piastri down in 16th. Interesting. So now Red Bull seem to be back. Gasly in the Haas looking good as well. And let's skip David Croft's nonsense. And let's have a little look at this setup confidence then. That can be moved along just a little bit, can't it? Yeah, that's got to be pretty good, hasn't it? I'm pretty happy with that for Norris. I think he'll be all right. Right, let's get that simulated then. Fingers crossed they've got good showing. Lando Norris quickest in final practice. Doesn't look like it's been the most representative session. Piastri down in 17th, but the whole field separated by 3/4 of a second. If that's what we've got to look forward to this year, then that's going to be exciting. 95% setup confidence for Lando Norris, 98% for Oscar Piastri. Let's get ourselves into the first qualifying session of the year. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Oh, we're going to enjoy this. Here we go. Qualifying 1.
And radio check.
Yeah, confirm.
Okay, so that's a green light.
Right then. Let's get Piastri out there first. And these are going to be the first laps that this McLaren goes in anger around this circuit. I'm really intrigued to see where we're at as a team. Norris obviously quickest in final practice. That gives him a bit of confidence going into it. But let's watch our new boy Oscar Piastri as he goes onto a flying lap of this Bahrain International Circuit. Of course, we're expecting that Norris is going to be the better of the 2 drivers, but setup confidence favours Piastri, 98%. So let's see how it goes in this first qualifying session of the season. So Lando Norris isn't far behind. Piastri goes green in the first sector. What about Norris? He's coming through now and he goes green as well. He's on a 27 flat and a 27 flat as well for Piastri. There are yellow flags and it is towards the end of sector 2. Is Piastri going to have to
It's a spin!
slow down? I don't think so. Gasly's gone for a spin though, so he's going to have to run again if he wants to get through. So here comes Oscar Piastri through the middle sector. We're expecting he may well go purple here. Comes through and not quite. but Norris might manage it. A 40.3 for Piastri and a 40.2 purple for Lando Norris. It was quickly snuffed out though by the Aston Martin, whoever that is behind. Gasly briefly went fastest, but Leclerc goes quicker, 130.0. Here comes Oscar Piastri. He goes up to the line. Where does he finish? He goes second, 2 tenths behind the Ferrari. Here comes Lando Norris then. What's he going to manage? He goes second now, and that is pretty much on the pace of the Ferrari, but Lewis Hamilton goes quickest. The 8-time world champion takes on a 129.7, but both our drivers, decent lap times, should be enough to get through, really. Sainz goes quicker, interestingly enough, in the other Aston Martin. We do have possibly another lap to do on those tyres. We don't want to use all of them, but if we have to get through, then we will, of course, do that. Just that.
Someone's run wide.
So after the first run, we're looking at that. I mean, Piastri's definitely in trouble. I think Norris is probably safe, you know. But I think we want to probably send them both out on fresh tyres. It's tough. You want to save tyres, but when you're a team like McLaren, I think we have to be careful here. Of course, we've promised both drivers will at least get through to Q2. Right, we kind of want to leave them to be the last over the line. Oh, sugar, we're going to struggle to get over the line now. I've messed that up royally. Piastri's the one we need to get out there as well. Oh my god, we have messed up. Oh, God's sake. Well, will Norris make it? I don't think so. We might as well just call them in. Save those tyres. That is a disaster. Checkered flag has fallen. Right then, we need to watch the guys down below. Gasly in particular, he's going to surely set the world alight with his time. Now, funnily enough, Piastri could have held up Gasly, but it is what it is. Yeah. Gasly's going to come up to the line first. Where's he going to go to? You're expecting that he might even go into the top 10. He goes above Norris up to 7th. Here comes Porsche. He comes across the line, doesn't improve. What about Giovinazzi? Can he get out of the bottom 5? He can. Into 15th. Here comes Verstappen. He does not improve. What about Lance Stroll? Lance Stroll in the AlphaTauri goes 15th. Bottas up to 5th. What about Ocon? He comes through now 7th. Perez 6th. Here comes Magnussen in the Alpine, only 4th. Russell is the next one across the line. Can he get out of the bottom 5? He can. He goes above Piastri. What about Vettel? He's a big one. He's now through. And it's now Yuki Tsunoda, Albon. Oh, Daniel Ricciardo, that could knock out Piastri. Tsunoda goes through, and Ricciardo is through. So Oscar Piastri is knocked out in our first qualifying session in charge of McLaren. It's 100% my fault, but wow, George Russell was on the cusp there for Mercedes, but that is a disaster. Oscar Piastri is knocked out in Q1. Lando Norris, a lucky boy, in 13th. I have to say, what I am quite surprised by is Alex Albon. If I'm completely honest, I thought he would get through. George Russell, the big surprise, really. But yeah, signs from Hamilton at the top. It looks like it's going to be another great season in that respect. Anyway, we have got these slightly older tyres. I wonder if we should do a run on the absolutely old tyres, keep those fresher ones for potentially getting through to Q3 or the race tomorrow.
And Lando, radio check, radio check.
Yeah, all good.
Track should be green.
So, let's get Lando out there, probably mid-session, I think. You know, while there's not a lot of traffic out there. So there he goes, off on his way. But I'm gutted for Piastri, completely my fault for... I mean, we've not had to go out at the end of Q1 for a long, long time. But that's no excuse, really. You know, we should be doing a hell of a lot better than what we just did there. But here we go then. Lando Norris is out there trying to drive this car, drive the wheels off the thing. He certainly looks motivated, does Lando. It's a green first sector, of course. It's what you're expecting. Oh, bloody Magnussen in the way. Can't really remember what we were performing in the first and middle sector last time out. I think this is going to be a pretty slow time because of Kevin Magnussen being in the way. But here he comes then, up to the line. Lando Norris, what's it going to be? It's in the 30s. It's a 30.8, which is quicker than Charles Leclerc, but 6/10 slower than the quickest man, Mr. Max Verstappen. So, pop on the new tyres and get ready for heading out there. And this time we certainly do not want to be left wanting. We'll send Norris out there now. That should be plenty of time. Gives him 2 minutes to get round. He's not going to benefit from any slipstreams, but we will watch him. And we'll watch him all the way around this time. No speeding up. And I'm intrigued to see where Lando Norris ends up. Carlos Sainz is currently quickest out there. Lewis Hamilton third. Tell you what, Théo Pourchaire looks like the real deal. His teammate Lance Stroll went out in Q1. And Pourchaire looking like he's right up there. Gasly looks reinvigorated at Haas. Much like Ricciardo at Alfa Romeo when he left that toxic environment. Of course, Gasly was at Mercedes last year. Speaking of Daniel Ricciardo, he heads up to 4th place. There goes Zhou Guanyu, only 10th. It's going to be one of the Red Bulls over the line next. I assume it's probably... Well, I'm guessing. I'm guessing at the end of the day. Who's it going to be over the line? It's Ocon. He goes up to 2nd. Great lap. Here comes Pourchaire. He stays 7th. What about the... Mercedes of Bottas, he goes 10th for now. Perez goes quickest. What a time for him. There goes Vettel. He is up to 5th. Lando Norris, meanwhile, green's in the first 2 sectors, so he is going to improve his time. Gasly goes 7th. What about Leclerc? Leclerc goes up to 6th. Here comes Magnussen. He goes up to 5th. And Russell over the line. He outqualifies his teammate Bottas, but only 12th. Here comes Lando Norris then. He is going to need a big time as he comes over the line. And he does. He gets up to 9th. That's brilliant from Lando Norris. And he knocks out his old teammate, Daniel Ricciardo, who drops into the bottom 5. And Fernando Alonso. Lando Norris is through to the top 10. You know, he's not going to be competing really for the top honours at this Grand Prix, but looks good nonetheless. Daniel Ricciardo there in P11, Théo Pourchaire, the 2 Mercedes cars of Russell and Bottas, and Zhou Guanyu finding the axe. Right then, into Q3. What can we manage here? Can we go, I suppose, maybe one good flying lap? So let's get into Q3. It's a long time since we've done an hour before even the race has started.
Yeah, I'm ready to check, all good.
track should be green now.
So I'm actually going to just do the one run and keep those fairly fresh soft tyres for the race. Just give us a little bit of a tyre advantage. Verstappen goes quickest. Hamilton's now quickest and Sainz only 4th. So Hamilton currently on pole position, followed by Magnussen, then Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Vettel, Ocon, Perez and Gasly rounding out the top 10. Right, I think we want to try and get Lando. Yeah, that's good. He's going to be behind the Ferrari and hopefully getting a bit of a slipstream from him in this one and only run in Q3. I'd expect that he's probably going to get at least 9th. But it might not happen. It might not happen. Nice tidy first couple of corners from Lando Norris. And a little bit of a slipstream, but not too much. Flies through the first sector. 26.9 that was actually. That's pretty damn good. Let's watch him from the outboard shot. I just love the look of McLaren in that orange. I do admittedly prefer their old Vodafone livery, but this is looking awesome, and it's looking like a good time so far. It's given Gasly an almighty tow as well. He is looking slightly quicker than the Ferrari. I don't know which Ferrari it is ahead of him. It's Leclerc, so we'll see. We'll see what time this produces, but he is looking good. And anyway, here we come then, up to the line. I think that was Ocon. Ocon goes up to the line, doesn't manage anything improved. Hamilton does improve, though. That's a very good time for him. Sainz doesn't improve. What about Leclerc? Neither does he. Here comes Norris, and he goes up to 6th. What a time that is. And almost pipped Charles Leclerc at the end there. Looks like Sebastian Vettel is now coming up to the line. Can he improve enough to go above Norris? No, he can't. What about Perez? He's the last man over the line. And he stays in 9th. And, well, it was Kevin Magnussen, actually, that was last man over the line. He qualifies in 2nd. So, there is your first top 10 of the season. That is pretty good. You know, 2.5 tenths off pole position. We'll settle for that. That gives us something to play with for tomorrow. You know, I don't think we're quite there. I think Norris has outperformed the car there. But 6th place for Lando Norris. He'll be happy with that. Lewis Hamilton is on pole position. The world champion continuing his great form. Kevin Magnussen qualifies 2nd ahead of Max Verstappen in 3rd. Then Carlos Sainz is in 4th. Leclerc 5th. Norris 6th. Vettel 7th. Ocon 8th. Perez 9th. And Pierre Gasly rounding out the top 10.
It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
McLaren did well during qualifying. They maximized their potential and are in a good position for the race today. Alfa Romeo managed to meet expectations during qualifying, and if they can keep this up, they'll have a good race ahead of them. And the sun is shining bright here today. This is perfect weather for teams and drivers alike to show us what they're capable of.
But which team has perfected the strategy that will see them prevail today, here at the Bahrain Grand Prix?
Right then, we are ready and raring to go for this first Grand Prix in charge of McLaren. Of course, Oscar Piastri, he's down the order. He's going to struggle. Realistically, we're going to want a 2-stop strategy. But I don't... well, we don't have any fresh soft tyres. That could be a bit of a problem. Could we maybe go medium? And then some nice softs towards the end. Yeah, potentially that's what we're going to do. Medium, medium, soft, just to be a little bit different with that. Whereas Oscar Piastri, we could try and start him off pretty aggressively. I don't think we can squeeze a one-stopper out of this. Is the nuts and bolts of it, but maybe we could. No, you'd have to seriously be very, very slow with that. But we might be able to start on the hards and then do 2 soft tyre stints. That could be a possibility. And that don't look too bad, does it? Let's do that then. Let's try that. I mean, would that change? Well, the mediums would be quicker. Let's do it then. Medium, soft, soft it is for Oscar Piastri. Getting that slightly harder tyre out of the way early on. Obviously, we're going to be struggling for fuel early on in this race as well. But here we go. Let's get ourselves into the race. It's going to be an absolute cracker. First race of the season.
Clear skies tonight, with the drivers having now arrived at their grid positions. And there is Lando Norris. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And it's the other McLaren. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And we're just moments away now. Here we go, with the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Well, we're ready and raring to go here.
It's lights out, and away we go.
So lights out, away we go. Lando Norris off to a decent start, but it's Lewis Hamilton that makes the best start of everybody, and he steams towards turn 1. Magnussen and Verstappen going side by side here at the start of the Grand Prix, but Magnussen managing to stay in P2. We've got Carlos Sainz. He'll be looking to try and go down the inside of
That's it.
Verstappen here, doesn't quite manage it. Oscar Piastri, meanwhile, has got past Albon by the looks of it.
Overtake.
Let's have a little look at that replay. His first
now
overtake
take a look at the McLaren.
in a McLaren. That's good racing. The medium tyre. Norris doing exactly the same thing as well. He's following Sebastian Vettel now. Everybody except us have started on those soft tyres. So Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri will be expecting a little bit of resistance at the start of this race. Let's hop on board straight away with Lando Norris here. Can he have a little look at Sebastian Vettel at this early stage of the race? Doesn't quite manage it. But doing a decent job. We can probably pop them back onto neutral here. There's no real need to be pushing the ERS so hard early on. Push the engine a little bit. This is good run. But it's Lewis Hamilton that is leading the way in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Kevin Magnussen is in second. He'll be looking to try and make the overtake stick around the outside of turn 1. Who's going to brake later, Lewis or Kevin Magnussen? And it's, of course, Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen is there in third, then Sainz is in fourth, with Leclerc in fifth, then Vettel sixth, and now we have got Norris again in seventh. Ocon is eighth, and then we've got Perez in ninth and Gasly in P10. Piastri, by the way, down in 16th as it currently stands. Right, let's zoom it forward a little bit. Our race won't really be happening until a little bit later on when the pit stops come in. So here comes Lando Norris. It would be helpful if he could catch that Alpine ahead, but Not really in our battle today. We have DRS here. No, he's going to have to defend from Ocon here. Ocon pulls to the inside and has a little luck with those soft tyres, and I think Ocon is going to make this move stick. Norris staying side by side with Ocon, but I think it's going to be pretty futile, but he runs him out wide. And I'll tell you what, he's still going nicely. But I think Ocon is through now.
Bit of an update for you. Currently in P8.
And can Lando Norris make the move straight back here with the DRS? Here we go then. Lando Norris with DRS. Can he pull to the inside? He is pulling to the inside. This could be a move down the inside for Lando Norris, and he goes down that inside. Very, very good move there. And now side by side with Esteban Ocon.
Really good.
They're still battling away.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And now then Piastri drops back behind Alex Albon.
Alfa Romeo just
He's
moved up
probably
a
going to
place.
struggle a little bit in these opening few laps. Here we go then with Lando Norris. Once again, DRS is enabled, pulls to the inside. Is he going to go further to the inside or not? No, he's not. Piastri is though, and Piastri should be making his way back past the Alfa Romeo of Alex Albon. Norris, another bout of DRS. He's going to pull to the inside again here. No.
McLaren gain a position.
Right then. And perhaps it's time to drop these down a little bit.
Save fuel from now, please. Save fuel from now.
Yeah, confirm.
Let's zoom it forward. Piastri looking like a little bit of a cork in the bottle
And McLaren with a great overtake.
back there. Norris did get
Let's
past
take a look
Ocon,
at the
which is
replay.
very
Watch
interesting.
this. We're looking
And
at
it was
Lando
DRS
Norris.
assisted. Went round the outside of turn 1. And look at that, the Ferrari went down the inside as well.
There they go.
Went from
Moving
bad to
ahead
worse
of the
for
other driver.
Esteban. Right then. Yeah, Norris back past Perez. Got Piastri down towards the back. It's looking like a little slow coach group back there, isn't it? Which is a shame. I thought Piastri might be able to stay on the back of Bottas a little easier. Norris is fighting away. 4 seconds off the back of Sebastian Vettel. Who I can't believe is still going in the sport. Oh, and Piastri got past Albon. Let's have a little look at this.
Just take a look at the McLaren.
And it's mainly going to be DRS moves. But we're trying to keep these tyres in check. Remember, much later in the Grand Prix, we're going to have the tyre advantage. Once again, Norris goes down the inside of Perez, and all right here.
And a new
Not looking
position.
too bad at
just
all.
Gained by Williams.
Sonoda now passed. But yeah, as I say, there's not going to be a lot of variation in this race until later on in the Grand Prix.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Now let's have a little look at that. Well, you see, they're already beneath 50%. So now this is going to be the time that Norris can hopefully push on. Similar for Piastri as well.
Looks like was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
So 7 more laps until the pit window opens for Lando Norris. Now, if he can stay ahead, that'd be great. It's just so difficult. We are going to try and push him here.
Ferrari advance the race position.
Deploy his ERS. Try and get out of the 1 second window, and then he can build from there. So here we go.
A position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Yep, this is good for Lando. And he is through. Straight away. And now, let's push.
And McLaren with a great
If he can stay
overtake.
ahead, which he can, and then push through this section. And Norris should be
Lock up on the track.
off on his way. Piastri might have to wait for a little bit later down the line. We'll see how much time Norris has already pulled out. And Perez has got DRS, but won't be able to close in that much. Exactly what we wanted with these longer lasting tyres. You take the pain, and later in the stint you can show what you're made of. That's exactly what Lando Norris has done. Now Piastri needs to kind of do the same here.
Use energy if you need.
Yeah.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy.
New fastest lap for Lando Norris. It's wonderful to see. Now we'll try and do something similar with Piastri. Allow him to push a little bit. Now Norris within a second of Vettel and Leclerc. Piastri desperately trying to break that 1 second gap to Albon. Yeah, you can see how close Norris is getting now. This is an exciting part of the race. It's Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton are fighting up ahead. Magnussen being passed by Lewis again, and Verstappen and Sainz following closely. But Norris ain't that far behind, you know. Bit of DRS. Just pop them back down to balanced for now.
Big lift.
Confirm.
Piastri just can't quite shake the 1 second window. I'm going to pop him into overtake.
Overtake button available.
We'll see if he fancies it. Fancies the double overtake here. No, I don't think it's going to quite happen. Meanwhile, Piastri, yeah, now more than a second ahead of Albon. Put one back into neutral. So, let's go overtake again for Norris.
You can use overtake.
See if he can
Yeah, confirm.
get past people here. There you go. This could work out beautifully. Let's get them harvesting. So people are now coming into the pit lane.
Okay, Lando, nice job. Leclerc has pitted. Okay, Lando, Sainz has pitted. And recharge on, recharge on.
Confirm.
Just looking at Piastri. Yeah, it looks like Albon is back into range, which is rather annoying.
Lift and coast will help.
Okay, this is fine. Piastri defending from Alex Albon. Norris is ahead of Vettel for now.
McLaren gain a position.
And will Vettel come into the pit lane? Let's see, well, Magnussen has just come in, so I don't think Vettel will. But so many others are peeling off into the pits now, including Alex Albon.
Let's get back in the rhythm now.
So time to zoom it through a little bit, I think.
Alpine just advanced.
So Hamilton still out there. He's leading the way. Norris closing in slightly on him. Piastri is third. Giovinazzi in fourth place, as it stands in that Williams. And Lewis Hamilton now pits. So Lando Norris leads this Bahrain Grand Prix. Piastri is there in second. Or he will be. Now it's going to be about Lando Norris building himself up here.
That sounds like someone's gone
Looks like
wide
Max
there.
Verstappen and Magnussen have jumped Lewis Hamilton. Now, how far off is Norris? There's a couple of laps still. So we'll zoom it forward a little bit. Now we might be within the window. Let's go attacking with Lando Norris.
100% pace, 100% pace.
Yeah, confirm.
Let's see what he can do, what he can pull out. Piastri's got a little bit of time as well. I mean, we can tell him to hold back the other cars. That could work nicely. As Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton are on hard tyres. Can Piastri hold back Verstappen any longer? No, he can't. So,
Red Bull gained a place.
where is Norris going to come back out? Hopefully, ahead of Russell is I think what we're hoping for here. So here we go. We'll pop on another set of medium tyres. We can give...
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
We can give Piastri another lap or
Just be
so.
careful with this tyre.
Confirm.
So here he comes. Lando Norris into the pit lane. Putting on a fresh set of medium tyres. And where is he going to come out? He would love to come out ahead of Ocon. He would love it. I think he's going to. Right now then, it's time to
Looks like Aston Martin have
attack
just
the
gained a
engine,
race
attack
position.
the deployment. Let's get Norris away from those guys. Meanwhile, Hamilton up to third place now. Piastri still in fourth. Probably now start attacking for him. But yes, Norris wants to build that gap to the Mercedes behind. Yeah, Norris is well away already. Should be in better
And save
shape.
fuel from now, please. Save fuel from now.
Confirm.
So that was perfect, really. That was exactly what we wanted. And now Piastri is going one more lap on those medium tyres. And then he's going to come in and he is going to put on the soft tyres, brand new soft tyres. He's staying ahead for now. This is really helping Lando Norris's race. He's already miles ahead of George Russell on fresher tyres, and well, looking at the strategies of most of the drivers, they've went on to hard tyres. So I think Norris is in a really good place here. He could well walk out with a podium. And Piastri, fingers crossed, will come out with some points. I don't know where Piastri's going to quite come out here. I think potentially just in front of Zhou Guanyu. Which I think it'd be a bit of a shame for him. He seems like he's worked so hard. He probably deserves a bit better than that, but he might even come out behind that little group because he has been on these medium tyres for a long, long time. And there goes Sebastian Vettel. I think Vettel is going to make it past, is he? Oh, wow. That almost ended in tears. But Piastri comes into the pits.
Yeah, confirm. Confirm.
Lando Norris
Pit limiter.
still going. 1.9 seconds behind. And yeah, I think Piastri is going to be at the rear. That's okay. That's okay. It's now on brand new soft tyres, and there's a big train of cars up ahead, and if he can make a big impact on those now, it's sort of undercut territory, isn't it? But, there you go. We'll check in on Piastri a little bit later. I'm expecting potentially a fastest lap from him at some point, as Norris is slowly but surely catching up to Sainz and Leclerc. But ultimately, 7th place is looking very, very good to be his. So Piastri coming around now. It's not quite fastest lap, but Norris now within a second of the two in front. So let's hop on board with this battle. Again, this is an interesting part of the race because Norris has actually got much better tyres than these guys. So it's whether we try and get past both of them here. Is he going to pull to the inside here? Oh, he might have a go down the inside. Oh, he nearly did. Nearly did it. He's going to have a go here, as Oscar Piastri has put in the fastest lap this time. And here goes Lando Norris, and he might go down round the outside of the Ferrari here. What a move this is on the Ferrari. But doesn't quite manage to finish it off. That was close. That was pretty close. And as I say, Piastri has put in the fastest lap of the race, so he is pretty fast out there, 135.4. And here goes Norris again. Oh, wow, that Ferrari just came right out in front of him there. I feel like it's only a matter of time before Norris does manage it here. Yep, should get past the Aston Martin here. And he does. And now he's going to have a great chance on
Doing a good job so far.
Sergio Perez, and here he goes with
And
DRS.
McLaren with a great overtake.
Should be able to go down the inside, and he has done. So Lando Norris is up into 5th position.
Nice work.
And how quickly is he going to be able to pull out that gap?
McLaren gain a position.
It's not bad, you know. .8 of a second up. If he can get out of the 1 second window, that would be awesome. Is he going to manage it? It's not far away. There they go, they come back at him.
Big lifts.
Let's just
Confirmed.
get him harvesting a little bit.
Ferrari advance the race position.
Let's go deploy now and let's hop on board with him. Should be able to pull away a little bit here. You'll get a good harvest out of the first corner. Yeah, I think that'll be Norris out of the range now. Perfect. There we go then. So, Lando Norris is now in 5th place. And this is all legit, by the way. Piastri up to 19th on these soft tyres. Let's pop him into overtake mode and see what he can do. Can he have a good run? Yes, he can. Perfect.
You can stop lifting,
needs to
coast.
be on
copy.
that now. Let's focus on Oscar's race for a little bit. It should be past Albon. And they're very much in this train that goes all the way up to 8th place here. So fingers crossed Piastri can keep performing and doing great things. Might have another chance here. Let's get on to overtake mode, see if we can get Giovinazzi down the next straight. There we go, that's a good overtake. He is through.
We need to charge it.
Well, let's see if we can harvest some energy.
We just need to charge up.
Shouldn't get overtaken too easily. Pop it back into overtake mode. Catches up nicely. Next on the cards then is Lance Stroll for 15th place. Let's see if we can get him. Doesn't look like it.
We have low batteries.
Lando Norris, meanwhile, 3.6 seconds off Sebastian Vettel, the next best car. Up the track. Now, can he use a bit of ERS deployment out of the final corner to get a good run here? Norris has got 5 seconds on Carlos Sainz here. This is working out beautifully. DRS, ERS, and he pulls to the inside. This should be a chance for Oscar Piastri then. As it goes down the inside now, and he is through. Very, very good from Oscar there. Right, straight down into neutral. Up to 15th place
McLaren gain a position.
as it stands. And I'm not a million miles away from pit stop territory. Let's go a little bit more aggressive.
Happy to push.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can get past Sergio Perez here. Not quite, not yet. Go neutral again here. Oh, he's going to go around the outside, is he? That's an aggressive move from Piastri. And he is side by side now with Perez. And I think he's going to make the move stick, is he? Oh, it was close. Don't think he's quite managed it, though. Right, now then, into pit stop window. Norris, by the way, just minding his own business. He's still got another 5, 6, 7 laps.
Got back a bit.
And then he's catching Vettel. Now it's whether Piastri can... Let's conserve some fuel with Piastri. Let's see. I'm going to think about an undercut for him. He's got brand new tyres, so they will last a little bit better than the other guy's tyres. Some people are in the pit lane. I think Piastri has to pit this lap. So Piastri's going to come in. He's going to pop on the soft tyres. And we'll see what we can pull off here. So here he comes. Oscar Piastri is going to dive into the pit lane here. Anyone else going to pit? No.
Copy, copy. So make sure you get your pit limiter.
So
pit limiter as
he
you
should
into
come
pit lane.
out ahead of Tsunoda, you would imagine. He's away. Come on. Come on, Oscar. This is going to be close. He doesn't want to be held behind those guys. At worst, he just wants one of them so he can zoom past with DRS. I think he's okay. Right. Let's push him hard. And give him a chance.
All okay.
By the
Fuel,
way,
so you can do
look
what
at
you want
Lando
to do.
Norris. Sebastian Vettel on much older medium tyres. So is everybody, to be fair. Kevin Magnussen in the pits.
Stay close.
Yeah, confirm.
So here we go with Lando Norris. He is going to be through. And then we need Piastri to get past. And he hasn't managed it, so that's probably the end of the undercut chance here.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Mind you, he has come quite good there. Oh, that's not what we want. Hang on, hang on, hang on. This is what we want.
McLaren gain a position.
And save fuel from now, please. Save fuel from now.
Come on.
Yeah, confirm.
Come on, Piastri. No! Oh, that's frustrating. That is very frustrating.
Okay, happy to lift and coast.
Yeah, Piastri's thrown it away, essentially. Come on, round the outside he goes. Yeah.
So use energy.
Right, so now let's see what Piastri can do. There's Norris still pushing hard. Norris will do one more lap. He's leading the Grand Prix. There goes Vettel. So Norris has got those 98%ers. Most other people struggling out there. Piastri still ahead of Tsunoda, which is what we needed. Let's just drop that back down to balanced. Now then, Norris should come out ahead of Russell. Fastest lap for Oscar Piastri, but he's dropped behind Tsunoda again. And these two are fighting for the final point now. Pop that back down to standard. Here we go then. Piastri.
Lift and coast will help.
Norris is in. He's coming out now. He's going to be just behind Vettel, but with much better tyres. Fourth is on the cards for Lando Norris. Russell and Perez are in. This is now Oscar's time. He's massively undercut those guys. He just has to try and stay ahead of Tsunoda now. But Oscar Piastri into the points, up to 8th place now. I'm hoping he stays ahead of Tsunoda, but there goes Tsunoda again, having a look at him. It's quite ridiculous. Norris, meanwhile, 1.7 behind Sebastian Vettel. So let's zoom up to the final few laps.
From Williams.
Might have to harvest a little bit with Piastri.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Just to make sure he's ready.
And a new position, just gained by
Here's
Williams.
Lando Norris. He's following Sebastian Vettel right now. Piastri not far off having enough. I think, to be honest, if we push him now, this is where he will ultimately win 8th place.
Lovely. What a mate, P4.
So Norris is through on Vettel for now. We didn't
Here's
see
the
it
replay.
live, which was a
Watch this.
shame.
We're looking at Lando
But he
Norris.
did get the DRS pass. And as we see, he's on much better tyres, so I can't imagine he's going to have much hope. Vettel. And Piastri is past Tsunoda and now pushing hard. We've got 9 laps to go.
McLaren gain a position.
Piastri desperately needs to get more than a second ahead. He's desperately trying to do exactly that. Not quite managing it though.
We need to charge it.
It looks like he's just about done it now. And Norris, by the way, still fighting hard with Vettel. 8 laps to go. But who is going to come out on top? Is it going to be Tsunoda or is it going to be Piastri? Norris and Vettel.
We're not okay on fuel.
Oh, crap. That might be a problem. Let's get him conserving. Half a tenth is the... Oh, half a second, sorry, was the difference between Vettel and Norris. Yeah, they're pretty close. Right then. Let's zoom it forward to the last couple of laps. I don't think much is going to happen before then. Do we try and harvest a little bit here? But Norris is 3.5 seconds off the lead. He might genuinely catch these guys, you know. Right. Back to neutral for Norris. Piastri's got more than enough now. So here we go then. Piastri should have enough to get past Tsunoda. And now I think it might be the time to push with Lando Norris. Can he close in on those guys at the front? As we go into the final lap of this Bahrain Grand Prix, Lando Norris 1.4 seconds behind Verstappen. Piastri, meanwhile, he's battling Tsunoda, should be able to do it. We'll pop him onto deploy. We might as well attack as well. And we'll attack with Lando Norris. This is huge. Lando Norris has got much better tyres than the guys ahead. He could well find himself in a podium pin position. Lewis Hamilton leads, Magnussen second, Verstappen in third. And it is Lando Norris currently in fourth position. Vettel is fifth. And now, can Lando make a move? I think the win is out of the question, but Lando Norris trying to go round the outside here. Doesn't manage it, but has DRS, and this time, oh, he's all the way up to second. And now already having a think about Lewis Hamilton. He goes down the inside. He's not going to manage it though, and we actually have to be very careful on the fuel. Right, let's just be careful. Let's take second place here. Oh no, Piastri spun. That's a disaster. Oh, what a shame for Oscar Piastri. On the final lap, we're not going to watch that replay because Lando Norris is going to have a chance of victory. I don't think he's quite going to do it. One more lap would have done it as Lewis Hamilton wins the first race of the season. Lando Norris finishes a brilliant second, Magnussen third, but it was all happening at the end there, wasn't it? Goodness me.
I think it was a pretty good race.
But, well, second place, we weren't expecting that, but the tyres just came to us at the end there. Everybody else's were going off the cliff. Annoyingly for Piastri, his went off the cliff and he misses out on points on his F1 debut. I was hoping 8th place, you know, we probably should have just took that. There was no real point in fighting the way we did. But there you have it. Piastri brings up the rear. And that is the end of a very, very good first race. We will settle for that. That was very good.
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him. What a beautiful sight that is on the podium, and a true crowning achievement for everyone involved.
And well done to Lewis Hamilton, starting off as he means to go on, perhaps. Who knows? Lando Norris finishes a brilliant second, though.
And after such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
And what a start to our career with McLaren. We could have won it. You know, I was worried about the fuel. I mean, and he did run out of fuel just over the line, so I'm glad we did what we did. Otherwise, we'd have ended up pointless, which would have been a disaster. Well, there you go.
Not bad at all. The team in the pits will be happy with that.
That's right, and they finished the race weekend in 3rd place in the constructor standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
So there we go then. There is the final standings. Lewis Hamilton wins the Bahrain Grand Prix 2026. Lando Norris finishes second ahead of Kevin Magnussen in third. Verstappen finishes fourth ahead of Vettel in fifth. Leclerc sixth, Sainz seventh, Tsunoda eighth, Albon ninth, and Lance Stroll in 10th position. Into the constructors then. We are third at the moment. We'll settle for that. A few points from Piastri wouldn't have gone amiss, but it is what it is. Norris, very decent there. Development point for Piastri, nothing for Sargent, of course, at the start of the season. But 2.8 million is the profit from our first Grand Prix. But that is where we're going to leave it for this first episode. If you have enjoyed it, then give it a massive thumbs up down below. It'd be great if we could hit 100 for this first part of the new sort of journey. Subscribe for plenty more F1 Manager videos, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.